Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't know if you guys are prepared, but today I'm hitting you guys with a story time, and it's a very scary story time. If you saw the title, you're probably like, oh, what is this about? So I need y'all to grab a snack. I need y'all to grab a drink, some juice, some water. If you're over 21, a shot, because this is crazy. I don't know many people who have gone through this, so yeah, let's just hop into the video. But before I say anything more, make sure to like, comment, share it, and subscribe. So yeah, let's go. Let me just start off by this is my second time filming this because I'm currently at my grandparents, and I have my little cousins over here. You saw them in the last video, and they just kept coming in and out, and then my grandpa was saying hello, so yeah. But we're gonna begin with the beginning. So basically, I have this friend, we're gonna call her Stacy, and it all started in 7th grade. I moved a lot, so I was always going from school to school, which was fine with me because I was really good at making new friends, and I honestly like to start fresh a lot. So it was just me, my mom, and my dad, and I was like,
okay, 7th grade, okay, period.
Like, let's get into this middle school vibe, even though I was gonna go through K through 8. But it didn't really faze me. Like, I was just like, whatever. So I get to the school, I'm very sketched out because I was just nervous and stuff, and the school kind of smelled weird.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't know, to me it did, but that's beyond the point. So I'm making new friends, whatever, I'm conversating, trying to find my vibe and stuff, and I met this girl, and I got along with her because her and I cracked a bunch of jokes, and I ended up seeing that she would walk home, and she would walk to school. And we actually lived 10 minutes apart from walking wise, so it was pretty convenient, So we started to walk home together, and we started to walk to school together, and we started hanging out a lot, and it was chill and whatever. So after a while, we actually became best friends, and it was cool. I got along with her family great. So Stacy didn't really have that many friends. She had a couple friends, but they're hella fake, and they just didn't really vibe with both of us, I would say, and she didn't like to really hang out with anyone else. So, but for me, I was very, I really like to hang out with other people and get to know other people, so I was kind of the opposite of her. So I'm gonna say after a year of being friends, it was already 8th grade, and this is kind of the stage where you're like,
oh, dating boys,
and for me and her, we thought that stuff was cringe, and a lot of people in 8th grade had boyfriend and girlfriends, but me and her, we didn't. Until a little further, I ended up dating a guy. It was my first boyfriend, and she was along the ride for everything. But there was this app, and it was called Kik. I'm sure many of people that are in my age group or even beyond or behind me know what that app is. If you don't, Kik is a messaging app. It's kind of like WhatsApp app. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And basically you just put a profile picture on there and your username, and that's how you message your friends. You could do find friends if they're in your contact, but other than that, you did have to manually type in a username. So one night, me and Stacy were having a little movie night. That's what we really like to do. We really like to go to Walgreens and get snacks and rent a movie off Redbox. So that was one of the nights. So we were getting prepared for that. But before, we were waiting for her mom to come home so she could take us to Walgreens. And me and her both get this notification. And we looked at each other, we're like, what the heck? So we opened our phone, and we saw that it was Kik. And I'm gonna call the guy Thomas. So Thomas Jefferson. No, I'm just kidding. Thomas Davis. Let's just call him that. Thomas Davis. It said Thomas Davis messaged you, and it said Thomas Davis messaged her. So we both were just kind of laughing, and we're like, what the heck? So we opened it, and it was like, hey. It said hey, what's up? And me and her were like, what the heck, who is this? Because this person didn't go to our school. He had one of those Tumblr profile pictures, you know, where they're just like I don't know, like, you know, those cringy ones with the really, like, when they put a lot of filters on it, whatever. So we just kind of didn't say anything about it. So her and I, us being us and being stupid and stuff, we started to message him and whatever. And so when we started messaging him a lot, I think he started to like develop crushes on the both of us, because he started like to call both of us really pretty, and like he wanted to hang out with us, and he started like telling us about his life and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, what school do you go to? So he told me that he went to this one high school, like he was a freshman in high school or something, and he went to this one high school, and he's like, I live in El Mirage and all this stuff. And the reason why I asked him this is because I've gone to a lot of different schools, so I wanted to see if anyone knew him or knew of him, because I couldn't find him on Instagram, I couldn't find him on Facebook, and I think that was all the apps I was using. Yeah, so I couldn't find him, so I thought that was a little strange. But after that, we still continued to talk to him and stuff. And then like a week later, I asked him what school he went to again, like to think that I forgot or something. And he told me a different school. So I talked to Stacy about it, and I was like, what school is he telling you he goes to? Because this is literally so weird. Like, he's being really weird. Like, what if this is like a scammer or something? Or like, who is this? And she's like, yeah, like, I don't know, and this and that. So whatever. And then I caught him in a lie. So I texted him back, and I was like, you told me this, and now you're saying this. Like, who are you? And yada yada yada. He ended up telling me that he's like, my parents are divorced, I switch off schools. What? You can't switch off schools.
Boy, if you don't
like, yeah, maybe you go to one for one semester. Nah, it just didn't make any sense. So whatever, I was like, this is weird. So I stopped talking to him for a little bit, and she would continue to talk to him, right? He ended up asking me out, I think, and I was like, no, like, I don't know you. Who are you? And he got super mad, and he's like, why won't you date me, and this and that. And I was just, okay, this is enough. So she told me that he did the same exact thing to her and was trying to date her, whatever. So then I stopped talking to the kid because he was super weird, and I couldn't find him on anything. When this was starting to happen, I started to notice Stacy started to hide her phone. You know what I mean? Like, so like, say I'm Stacy and that's me. Like, we'd be sitting next to each other, and she'd be like, and we had each other's, like, we knew each other's passwords, I'm pretty sure, but we never went on each other's phones like that, because you didn't need to. So I kind of just was like, maybe she's just talking to other people and she doesn't want me to know. So one night, I was at her house, and I'm thinking this is maybe like, this is in 8th grade, remember that. And this was like 4 months later, I'm pretty sure. And she was on her phone, and I got a message from Thomas Davis again. And I was like, wow, he's messaging me like after he like asked me out and stuff. Like, this is weird, this is awkward. And she was like, oh, he hasn't messaged me at all. And I was like, oh, okay. So she was the type of person where she took her phone everywhere, you know, like to the bathroom, downstairs, just anywhere. And for this some reason, she accidentally left her phone on the floor next to me. And when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, she left her phone. Like, she never does that. So I was texting him back and stuff. I was texting Thomas Davis back, and her phone went off. It was like, and I was like, oh, that's funny. Like, right when I sent that message, like a notification went off on her phone for Kick, which that was the app that I was on. And I didn't do anything about it, whatever. And then I texted that kid again, because I think he like asked me questions or something, so I was just responding to them. And again, it went off her phone. And I was just like, what? Like, that's crazy. Maybe he's texting her or something. So then I decided, you know, I'm gonna try again. So I sent it. So me being me, I was like, because her phone was on the floor like this, you know, I flipped the phone over, and it said my name. it literally said my name in the message I sent to this Thomas Davis person. So I literally was so shook about it. And then she came back in the room like immediately, and she's like, oh my goodness, I forgot my phone. And I looked at her and I was just like in a blank. Like, I didn't know how to react. I didn't know what to do. I was like 13 years old or something, so I was just like, what the heck? I didn't even know how to act. Like, I was just super confused. And you know what, I think I'm gonna go home, I don't feel good. Or I made up an excuse, or maybe I had my mom call me or something. And she's like, oh, okay, are you sure? Like, we're supposed to eat dinner together, my mom's making dinner and this and that. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. So I ended up leaving, and I just couldn't believe what I saw. Like, I was just like, is this even true? Like, I just didn't want to believe it. So a couple days after that, I went back to her house, and we were actually on the computer. She had like this family computer, and she was looking through her photos, because you know how you can plug in your iPhone and like download all your photos to the computer. And I saw Thomas Davis's picture, right? And a bunch of other guys' pictures that like look similar to him. And then I saw screenshots of me and Thomas's conversations. And I didn't ever send her those conversations. So I looked at her and I was like, why do you have that? Because she scrolled past it really fast after that. And she was like, oh, like I was just trying to figure out who he was, because you remember how he was acting weird, and like, you know how he was texting both of us, and like he's just super weird. And I was just like, wow.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god.
Like, I just put everything together, and I started to notice like she would play the victim a lot. And like, I think I ended up leaving again, and I started to literally sit there and think of everything. And she is crazy. Other than this, like, wow. So I actually ended up confronting her after I saw all those screenshots of me and Thomas Davis's convos and the pictures of the guys. And I ended up saying, like, how could you do this? Like, that's super weird. Like, are you, like, I wasn't really thinking of the obsessed part. I was more thinking of, like, how could you even do that? Like, you really were texting your own self, and you were texting me. And, like, we talked about this person with other people, like, saying, like, there was a sketch guy texting us. And she kind of wasn't admitting it to me. Like, she was, like, just being, like, that's not me, like, you're crazy and all that stuff. And I told her, like, I saw that stuff on your phone, like, off the computer. And then I ended up telling her that I saw my own messages on her phone. And she then was like, I'm sorry. And she had no comment about it. Like, and so I was like, oh, I can't be friends with you. I gotta go. Like, I just can't. And luckily it was towards the end of the year, so like, we didn't really have to see each other at school and yada yada yada. I ended up not going to the same school as her because I didn't want to go to that school because, one, I thought it was super ghetto, and my parents actually wanted me to go to a different high school because I thought it would be like a better environment. And I did know a lot of people that went to that high school because it was going to be my freshman year. So I ended up moving schools, and I went there for a year. I had the best year. I met some of the greatest people, and I actually totally like kind of forgot about her. Like, I think she was still following me on all my stuff. So she ended up, like, that year, she was like, can you come to my birthday party? And I was just like,
Nope.
no, are you crazy? I'm not going to your birthday party. Like, wow. So yeah, after that, my parents couldn't take me to school anymore, so they told me I had to go back to the school that I graduated from. So I went back, and she wanted to be friends again, and she told me how sorry she was and that she would never do anything like that again, and that she's grown up and all this stuff. And I ended up forgiving her.
Fucking
yeah, I know. I don't ever do that. and I started to become friends again, and she started to be super sketch again, like off the bat. And I was just like, she had this obsession with me still. Like she would literally cry. Like she would get so mad at me if I went to go hang out with other people. And I was just like, dude, like you can't get upset at me. Like we're friends. I didn't call her my best friend at that time, I'm not sure, but when we were younger, I did, because we did, like, I literally spent the night at her house like almost every day and stuff. So yeah, that happened. I ended up not being friends with her ever again, like after a couple months, because she wouldn't change the way she was. She was literally the same exact person, except she didn't make a fake account this time, and she didn't ask me out, and she didn't tell me how beautiful I was. So thank you for that. Shout out to you, Stacy. She ended up not going to school anymore, literally for the rest of her high school years. So yeah, that was the time where I had she's an ex-best friend that had an obsession over me. I'm gonna say that because I really do think that she did. And actually to this day, she would kind of start to reach out to me still, like throughout high school, and I really didn't give her the time of day because that's just crazy. And I actually noticed about a week ago that she still followed me on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, and I ended up removing her because I was just like, I still have this freaking social media? Like, no. So honestly, I'm giving advice to all of you guys. Once you see something crazy like that, don't go back. Immediately take those people out of your life. Like, what? I just can't believe that. So I'm sorry. I don't know if this was quite entertaining, but it's just scary to me that this really did happen to me. So yeah, if you guys do want more story times, let me know. I definitely do have a lot more crazy stories that happen to me. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back either Tuesday or Friday. I don't know if I'm going to be doing videos every Tuesday and Friday. Kind of want to. So yeah, leave some video suggestions down below. But hope y'all have a great day, great night, great morning, great midday, whenever you're watching. But I'll see you guys soon. Peace.